going on? Absent-minded Abe,
Mhm.
fucking George Washington of the targeted individual community.
Oh, really? George
George
Washington.
fucking Washington.
George Washington, huh?
Abraham Lincoln of the TI community.
Really?
Honest fucking Abe.
Wow.
Honest Abe.
Wow.
Anyways,
Okay. That I just gotta stop you right there. Listen, the fact that you actually think that, the fact that you actually think that you can like compare yourself to I mean men in history that had more integrity than than anybody and ever, like, for real. Do you know what integrity is, Abe? Do you know what integrity is? See, I don't think that. I guess I can't. You probably do think that you have integrity. You probably don't even realize that your perspective is totally fucked. It's totally fucked. Your perspective is totally fucked. Are you capable? Are you capable whatsoever of of reflecting on your actions, or are you capable of putting yourself in any other perspective other than your own egotistical, narcissistic, broken fucking mindset? Is that possible? Are you capable at all? Is it possible for you to put yourself in anyone else's shoes ever, even for a second? I mean, clearly, the fact that you're calling yourself George Washington and the Abraham Lincoln of the TI community, like, really? I don't think that George Washington or Abraham Lincoln ever sexually assaulted anybody and then made excuses for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure Abraham Lincoln's known for never telling a lie, right? Never telling a lie. Now, whether you think you're telling a lie or not is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. The question is the words that come out of your mouth and the actual events that took place. Is what you're saying true? Is what you're saying the actual events that took place? Or are you saying things that by definition, are untrue, therefore making it a lie? Whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. So I think you've actually convinced yourself. Like, this is like what a pathological liar does. They convince themselves. They lie so much, so often, for so long, that they believe the lie that they're telling. They literally believe their own lies. I mean, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I uh, I just watched this recent video from a year ago. I've never seen this before. I never knew this. Um, this piece of information about you, Abe, but it explains everything. I mean, it explains everything. I mean, you're the full package. You are a hypocrite. You're a narcissist. You're a pathological liar. You're egotistical. You are a misogynist. You're, uh, and you're, I don't know, like, I don't know, man. You're fake as fuck. It's like fake as fuck. I never really took enough time to actually sit and watch you and interact with another person. I listen to your rants, on your channel, but you're not talking to anybody. You're just talking to yourself. You know what I mean? But listening to you talk to somebody else for over an hour, is very, very telling. very telling. It's just funny how everything that comes out of your mouth before it comes out of your mouth, you manipulate it and you twist it around, and you have an excuse for every single little thing. Like, you look at it ahead of time, like before it comes out of your mouth, you make up some story, right? So that you just automatically think that everybody's gonna look down on you for the next thing you're gonna say. So you have to come up with some story to explain it away, some story to make to justify your actions. Um, some stupid fucking story that I don't care who you are. Anybody that hears it is gonna call you out and say you're lying. You're just lying. You're making this shit up. You're just fucking lying. I mean, I listened to you lie. I just in that one live stream. So you don't even realize that you're on a YouTube live stream. This is a recording where people can go back and watch it back, and people were watching it at the time live, and yet you still contradict yourself. You still literally you lie, and then immediately after you say something else, and you forgot what you said already because you lied. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. You don't have to worry about that. But it's that bad that you don't even realize you can't even get through a fucking conversation with one person without lying. You know what I mean? Without making stuff up. So I I thought that was funny. I was just looking for an image to use for like a screenshot here for a thumbnail. You know, for a thumbnail for your for the video that I'm going to post about it. So here we'll use that one. That's a good one there. And then well, let's go ahead and let's watch the video. How about it? You want to watch the video? Let's watch the video then. Let's see here. First of all, we'll do this. There we go. Okay. Now,
And I got some stuff I'm going to cover.
oh yeah,
Some more important information to share with you guys. Because this is stuff, again,
I bet you it's.
that in this fake online targeted individual community, it's
Wow.
rarely covered.
Wow.
You know why? Because all this community is about is psyops,
Oh really?
disinformation, misinformation,
That's all you do is come out with stupid shit.
trickery,
You go back and
sorcery, deception.
witchcraft, sorcery, deception, Freemasons, cults, and dude, you're not fooling anybody. You literally project. That's all you do is project. You project yourself. I don't know if you realize you even do it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know if you actually realize what you're doing here. But let's go ahead and go to. Let's see. Here we go. Here it is. Look at that. Okay, this is the video. So I'm gonna let this play. I might chime in. I might not. But yeah, there we go.
Something tells me you did the same thing to somebody in Guam.
Here, we'll rewind it here. There we go.
All right, what's up, YouTube? I've never seen this. This is the first time I've ever seen this this video with Abe and Omniaris. And I've heard Abe mention in the past about how people try to blame him for being some kind of pervert, but he always beat around the bush, and he always alluded to what was done. He like alluded to implied that it was false allegation. That he didn't do, right? Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to turn the volume up.
They've done that to me. Like they've literally tried to call me a pedophile. They've tried to call me all these things, but it's not even based on anything. It's just a complete lie in my case. Absolute complete lie. So, like, that's honest God truth. You won't find anybody that can give you a single situation or anything that I've ever done, because it didn't happen. I've never done anything of the sort whatsoever. They just use that to just try to discredit me. They just lie through the fucking teeth. But I was watching this on the Harris interview, and Abe tells the story at the bar, and what happened at the bar with the girl. And I got about 2 minutes or so and I came to the realization, like, Abe, I realized what your problem is. Like, it's really, really obvious what your problem is here. I'm going to say it out loud. It's what I do. I mean, I speak the truth. If you don't like it, that's that. I can't help that. It's just my point of view, and I speak my mind. And I call it how I see it. I call shit out. So, maybe this will help you. I don't know. Maybe this will help you, because I am very confident that if you were to take my advice here, that your problems will go away, and I can put myself in the shoes of these other people and look at it from their perspective, and I can understand why they do what they do to you, like 100%. Why they continue to do what they do to you. But we're gonna watch this here, and then I'll stop it. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, so let's go ahead and watch this here.
Was that you said?
No, I can't really pinpoint or put my finger on it. But I know 2 weeks later when I came back, she was wearing glasses that were similar to mine.
We're gonna go ahead and put
like
this on,
these glasses that I have.
on the big
And I made it a
speaker
point
here.
of emphasis to compliment on her glasses. And
Oops.
I don't know, she got weird about it. Like, I don't know if she took it out of context or misunderstood what I was trying to say, but she got very weird about it. I do know that.
I feel like, what could she have taken out of context about the glass?
Okay.
That would have made everyone so upset in the bar. Like, there had to be something you said aside from about her glasses, right?
Yeah, I mean, again,
Let me just catch you up here. He started telling the story, and he didn't want to say what he did. And on the Harris was respecting that. And he said, "You don't have to tell me what you did, but you have to kind of tell me what, like, you have to give him some context here. He's not, you can't understand the story unless you give him something. So he's just trying to understand it. I can relate, because I was trying to understand it too. And the glasses thing just didn't make sense. So he's saying that she got mad about the comment he made about her glasses or something like that. Okay, so that's where we're at.
I know I didn't say anything derogatory. You know, I'm confident of that.
Do you know what kind of thing you said, even if you don't remember specifically what it was? Could you describe, like, the nature of what it was?
Not really, to be completely honest.
That's fine.
You know, but so
To be
here's what I think
completely
this is, right?
honest.
Here's where I think these guys came from. If you want my honest, objective opinion, I think these guys came from a group of people from a bar that I was at prior to this in February, before COVID kicked off.
Now do you notice how many times he says the word honest? He actually uses the word honest several times.
All right, what's up, YouTube? I've never seen this.
So
They spread about you that wasn't true. You don't have to say what you did, but what did they say you did that you didn't do?
Yeah.
I suspect they accused me of being a fucking pervert. That's what I suspect, because of what happened. That's exactly what I suspect happened.
Okay, so this is libel.
Sorry, go ahead.
Because
and it just was, again, it was completely fucking baseless, because I literally told them what I was going to do, why I was going to do. And we're at this bar, and there's like a karaoke contest.
we got a little bit ahead of ourselves.
You know, I'm confident of that.
Do you know what kind of thing you said, even if you don't remember?
Yeah, it really ramped up because of this one incident that happened in February. before fucking COVID ever hit, before, you know, the shutdown, before all that. So I'm hanging out with my group of friends, and we're at this bar, and there's like a karaoke contest going on, and I was there to support my friend. So I go in there, I'm supporting my friend. There's some new guy in the picture, and he seemed pretty cool. He seemed relatable to me. So I kind of, you know, hit it off with the guy. We were shooting pool and everything like that. So as the night goes on, he's like, man, this place is kind of lame. So he talks, he's like, hey, man, why don't we go to this bar in, you know, this other sector of town? So everybody pretty much agrees. We go to this bar in the other sector of town. So we show up at this bar, and it was actually a pretty sweet bar, because it was like a bunch of like Marines in there, man. So it was like a bunch of like prior military, Marine Corps, infantry grunts and shit like that. Like, it was like people like I could relate with, you know? So it was actually pretty fucking comfortable. So we're in the bar, we're hanging out, and I had previously dated this girl, but I broke it off with her. We were no longer dating, but she was still my friend, you know? So some guy took her seat. So I politely asked the guy, I was like, hey, man, you know, clearly that was her seat, whatever, you know. That wasn't really a big deal. But a group of girls came over later in the night. They stood next to me at the end of the bar, and I think this is what it was, man. These girls stood next to me at the end of the bar, and they were being very fucking arrogant, and just like, I mean, you know how fucking young, pretty girls are, right? They think that everybody wants them. They think that they're the best thing ever. And if you don't show them attention, then they get very arrogant about it sometimes. So
Yeah, they can do that.
they came over, they were kind of acting like that, and I took it personally. And so I made it a point of emphasis to start shooting the shit with these girls and talking with them.
Because you're an
And there was a
egotistical
situation where
misogynist.
I know that it spiraled into a scenario where, again, I did something that probably was inappropriate.
Probably.
What did you do?
Probably.
Well, I'm not going to disclose exactly what
That's
I did,
fine,
but
you
I
don't
can
have
just
to.
tell you that it was probably inappropriate.
Probably.
Now, I explained
You
exactly
didn't
why I was doing it.
expose yourself.
before I did.
I don't know what happened there. It was probably inappropriate. What the hell happened?
He's like, hey, man, why don't we go to this bar in, you know, this
I don't
other
know what just
sector of
happened.
town?
That's weird.
We were no longer dating, but she was still my friend, you know? So some guy took her seat. They think that everybody wants them. They think that they're the best thing ever. Made it a point of emphasis to start shooting the shit with these girls and talking with them. And there was a situation where I know that it spiraled into a scenario where, again, I did something that probably was inappropriate.
Probably.
What did you do?
Probably.
Well, I'm not going to disclose exactly what
That's
I did,
fine,
but
you
I
don't
can
have
just
to.
tell you that it was probably inappropriate.
Probably.
Now, I explained
You
exactly
didn't
why I was doing it.
expose yourself
before I
to them, did you?
did. No, absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely
good.
not. But
Now, this is important. Pay attention. This is very, very important, because this is the root of the problem, Abe, okay? The fact that you just said multiple times, probably, okay? Now we'll continue. We'll come back to that, but you said you probably did something you weren't supposed to.
explained what I was going to do before I did it, and I even explained why I did it after I did it again, just to make sure it was clear that I was making a point and that I was not doing it in some malicious fashion or anything like that. And yeah, needless to say, they fucking lost their minds over that. And I believe that they spread false libel, lies, and slandered me.
Well, what did
And
they spread about you that wasn't true? You don't
Yeah.
have to say what you did, but what did they say you did that you didn't do?
Yeah. Yeah. Good
I suspect they accused me of being a fucking pervert. That's what I suspect because of what happened. That's exactly what I suspect happened.
Okay, so this is
And-
libel.
Sorry, go ahead.
Because
Yeah,
there's
so,
no...
and it just was, again, it was completely fucking baseless because
Baseless.
I literally told them what I was going to do, why I was going to do it.
Okay, it's baseless. He probably did something that's probably shouldn't have done. The claims that he's a pervert are baseless. He's saying this out loud. They're completely baseless, right? That they calling him a pervert. He called it libel. He's saying that they lied about him, right? Spread, defamation of character, libel, and that they spread these things around on the internet and everything, and lied about him. They're saying that he lied, or he's saying that they lied about him, right? Okay, so in his eyes, now in Abe's eyes, and Abe, in your eyes, already I can see you did nothing wrong. In your eyes, you are trying to justify whatever it is. We don't even know what you did yet, right?
After the fact, I apologized. I told her again, this is why I did it. I was proving a point to you.
Okay.
And, girls don't like to be fucking shown up, man. That's just what it was.
You showed her up?
Showed their asses up, and they didn't fucking like it.
Why won't you tell us what it is?
What'd you do? Did you measure your dick? Was your dick bigger than theirs? Did you show them you had a bigger dick than them, or what?
Is like, are you ashamed of what you did?
No, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, literally, I grabbed the girl.
Boom. You're not ashamed of it either. That's the third thing, okay? Something you probably shouldn't have done. Baseless claims, okay? You're not ashamed. And you told them what you were going to do because you were proving a point. And you apologized after. All of these excuses, all of these things you're saying, right? To justify what you did. Meaning you did nothing wrong in your own mind. You did nothing wrong, okay? Right? Now let's hear what you did, okay?
Girl's chest. I told her I was going to grab her chest, and there was nothing she was going to do about it.
That's sexual assault.
Boom.
Hey, man, that's... Yeah.
So you think that
Okay. I mean, I already knew what it was going to be, but still, I had to build up to it. So you see, I don't know if you get it, Abe. They call you a narcissist because you're a narcissist. They call you a pervert because you're a pervert. They spread the stuff they say about you because it's true. And they continue to gangstalk you. They continue to fuck with you because you just don't fucking get it. And that probably pisses them off even more than it did to begin with. I know it does me. It pisses me off right now listening to it. The fact that you are trying to justify what you did. You deserve everything you're getting, dude. And you, for some reason, make yourself out to be this victim, like you don't deserve to be persecuted. You have never accepted accountability for what you did. It doesn't matter if you said you're sorry afterwards, because you negated that. You invalidated that by saying, I told them what I was going to do ahead of time, basically implying that you're justified in doing what you did. You told her you were going to grab her boob, or her breast. So that makes it okay that you did it in your brain. In your broken brain, you think that was okay. You don't see how fucked that is? And you really don't understand why they're still fucking with you? I mean, wow. When was this? I don't know when this was, but...
Like a year ago.
you think that the Department of Defense is, and like all of the DHS, you think they're all pissed that you grabbed a woman's breast and then that they decided to ramp it up? Because why wouldn't they just have her call the police and have you arrested?
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm probably just psychoanalyzing the situation.
Now, you know why?
Why would you do that?
Because do you realize what a victim has to go through? Do you realize what she would have to go through if she called the police to have you arrested? She would have to then be a victim in a sexual assault case. Do you realize? Do you know how embarrassing and what that would feel like? You're bitching because you're gang stalked or whatever, right? Do you even realize? Do you even put yourself in their shoes for 1 second and understand for 1 second what she had to? She had to make the decision not to do that because she didn't want to go through the ridicule in the process of that. Probably not because to save your ass or because she didn't want to hurt you or something. No, because she didn't want to go through more trauma. You just traumatized her by touching her breast. Not once, but here.
knowing that you could be arrested.
With that situation?
Yeah.
Because, well, all right, so...
Nobody likes... You can't just grab people's private parts.
Nope.
Well, yeah, obviously you can't just grab people's private parts.
But you did.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but allow me to explain again.
Oh, okay.
This is again.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fall down a fucking well because there's no way for me to explain it.
Yes, there is.
Because it's all gonna be a trap.
No, it's not a trap.
No, but can you admit, like, it was wrong and I shouldn't have done it?
That's all you gotta do.
Yes, I did, and I admitted it at the time. That's the whole point.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but you can't just slap somebody and say, I'm sorry I hit you. You just shouldn't do it to begin with.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I told her exactly what I was going to do before I even did it.
So that makes it okay.
But still, that doesn't, you can't, like, no, okay, I'm sure, I'm
See,
not trying to...
On the air is taking it
agitated, so...
he's taking it easy on you, dude. Very much so.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to... I'm just like, it kind of is upsetting to me because, like, I'm not looking for anything, like, that's a big deal.
To paint me and portray me.
No,
you did it. You did it of your own volition.
Yeah, obviously.
You felt like you had a right to do it.
Yeah, obviously, and I just told you that I did it, but I also explained to you all of the context involved. I told you exactly why I did it.
Okay.
I told you
but
so
that I apologized for what I did.
So?
I even told them why I was going to do it, that it was all to prove a point.
What was the point you were trying to prove?
That they don't get to fucking act the way they act and think that they can go flaunt their stuff in front of people and treat people like shit.
You're a narcissist.
It's not illegal for them to do that.
But
dude, do you realize how narcissistic that is? How self-centered and how fucking egotistical you sound. They do get to do that. They're allowed to do that. It's a free country. You don't get to do what you did. That's against the law. So you see what they're doing to you, Abe. Now they're going to keep doing what they want to do. That's, under the color of law. They're allowed to do what they're doing to you. It's not against the law to walk around the block and beep the horn and shit like that. So they're still not breaking the law to get back at you. I don't think that they're doing it to get back at you. I think they're doing it to try to teach you a lesson until you get it, but you just don't get it. You just don't fucking get it. All you have to do is take accountability. It's, you can't say I'm sorry and then in the same sentence make an excuse, but I told her I was going to do it and I apologized. So you're like justifying it. And that negates the whole fucking thing. That means that you're not taking accountability. You don't understand what you did is wrong. You know what I mean? You haven't been persecuted for what you did. You realize it only takes one time doing that to go to jail, right? You don't have to be a chronic or repeat boob toucher to be a creep and go to jail. You only have to do it once. Just once. You only have to kill somebody one time to be a murderer. You only have to rape somebody one time to be a rapist. You only have to steal from somebody one time to be a thief. Don't you understand that? And the people that have made mistakes and have done these things in the past and have served their time and they've taken accountability and they've done the crime, they did the time, and they have admitted their mistakes and then to this day will admit their mistakes and change. You're trying to say that you're good, you're not going to do it again, but you're still trying to make excuses for why you did it. So you just don't get it. You really don't get it. That's what the whole thing's all about, Abe. That's exactly why they're fucking doing this to you.
It should be illegal for them.
But it is illegal for you to grab them on their private parts.
Obviously, the rest is history, isn't it?
No, you didn't go to jail.
I got painted, portrayed, and categorized as a pervert, and I've been literally fucking persecuted ever since.
Should you maybe not act like a pervert if you don't want people to think you're one?
Right.
Yeah, but you can't persecute people for one fucking mistake that was fucking completely taken out of context.
You can arrest them for it.
Yeah, they could have arrested me for it, absolutely.
So the Department of Defense they took it easy on you.
Yeah.
If they really were
Possibly.
pissed at you, they would have just had your ass arrested, right?
Probably, yeah. They could have very well fucking had me arrested.
And then you
absolutely.
still get persecuted the rest of your life.
If they're like trying to make you live a better life, as like if that's what their goal is, at this point, why don't you just suck it up and do it?
Boom.
Because it's not really set or written in stone exactly what that
But
entails.
what is written in stone is that if you keep touching women's breasts without permission, you will get arrested.
Yep.
Well, absolutely. That was the only time in the history of my entire life that I had ever even remotely come close to doing anything like that.
Okay.
Well,
Again,
it sounds like an
you
escalation.
You can't look at a life of a billion events. This is what I talked about earlier. It's exactly what I was
I've
alluding to
never
earlier.
grabbed someone's private parts without permission, and I think I'm probably older than you.
Yeah, me neither.
You probably have, realistically.
No, I haven't.
Once upon a time,
I would
bet you probably
absolutely.
have.
See?
Dude, I would remember if I'd ever done that to anyone.
And this is where your brain, Abe, see, your brain is fucked. You're trying to just assume that everybody else has done this too, to make yourself feel better, so you don't feel the shame and the guilt. But that's just not the case, Abe. Normal people don't do that, ever, at all, period. You're not going to get around. You're not going to get around this. You're not going to be able to get away without admitting what you did and taking accountability for your actions. But it has to be genuine. You can't make excuses, dude. It doesn't work. It's like a smack in the face to the victim and every other fucking victim that's out there.
And I haven't. So
Like,
don't
I'll
just
tell you right
like.
now, it's happened to me.
Okay,
I
but
didn't
that
flip
doesn't
out
make
and
it
freak out
okay
about
for
it.
you to do it
Right.
to someone else.
Absolutely, exactly.
I'm not saying it does make it okay.
But
I've
you
already
did- but you-
admitted
Like
my
it's,
why?
part in
it
the
seems like
situation.
it's no big deal.
Exactly. Why did you even bring it up then that it happened to you? Why did you bring that up? You sound like my 15-year-old. Well, my buddy did this, or you let me do this time. Why can't I do it now? You know, like you make excuses. Like it doesn't make any sense. If somebody did it to you, that means you're allowed to do it to somebody else? No. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Deal to you, and that's a problem with me because that woman did not go in there thinking like, well, if someone grabs my breast, it's probably because I deserve it.
Right?
No. All right, so obviously,
I'm trying to be
my
nice,
wording-
but that's obnoxious.
yes. So obviously, my wording about them deserving it in some fashion was incorrect. They did not deserve it. It was more so supposed to be a reality check. It was supposed to be a learning experience.
So what if
Doesn't
someone came up to
matter.
you and punched you in the face and said that's a reality check for you?
It depends on, you know.
It
what
depends
type
on
of-
what. If anybody punched me in the face and said that, they would be going to jail.
This is one argument you're not
I mean,
going to
you make
win,
a valid point,
Abe.
but
You're not
still,
going to win
you know,
this. You
Just
need
try
to.
to be reasonable. Like sometimes you are out of control, and I think you know that.
Yeah.
And I think you don't want to be that way. Like
I
there's a
agree.
part of you that is not cool with what you did. I know that because you didn't want to tell us.
Right.
Whatever is going on in your head, and trust me, I have a lot going on in my head, so I know you do too. But whatever's going on in your head, the one that is telling you that that was wrong and that you should never have done that is the one that you need to listen to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously I have listened to that.
No, you
That was
haven't.
the one that I listened to my entire life prior to that. That's the one that I've listened to my entire life since that event.
Yeah, but what about
Again,
next time? You're not going to do it next time,
There
are
is
you?
There is no next time, man.
Good.
I'm not
I
a
believe
bad
you.
person. I'm not a pervert. I don't go out of my way to hurt people ever. That
Okay.
was an incident that had no malicious intent. There was no malicious intent.
What
Dude,
if that woman had been
what are you
sexually
talking
molested
about?
before and you triggered some kind of feelings in her?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm
Again,
gonna
we're
punch
going
somebody
into
in-
the realm of feelings.
Am I gonna punch somebody in the
can't-
face?
I can't control all of,
Oh my God.
you know, the potential outcomes that come out of every little thing that I do.
You can control yourself, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can control myself, but I can't control how other people, interact with the things that I do, even
So
when
you
I feel
can't
like
control how a woman
control.
reacts to you grabbing her breast? Well, no, you can't. But you can definitely control your hand reaching for it.
Yep.
So, all right. So it's not important, but it is important.
It's very important.
I have to clarify again, because I'm going to receive a lot of backlash.
See, you just don't get it. You don't have to clarify anything. You just have to admit what you did. It's wrong.
Even us talking about me grabbing her breast, again, that's not even exactly technically what I even did. I'm just telling you, like, it revolved around something simple.
See, you're already trying to make excuses. You're trying to downplay it. You don't get it, dude. You don't fucking get it. All you need to do is just say, you know what I did was wrong. And I'm a pervert. I'm a piece of shit. I should never have done that. I feel terrible. And that's it. That's it. End of story. You don't try to explain yourself and justify yourself. Like, you don't understand how fucked that sounds. You got to put yourself in the other party's shoes, Abe. Have you done that at all? Have you done that at all?
Similar to that, but it was definitely nothing that was even over the top or out of control whatsoever.
I'm just confused.
I've had women grab my private parts in bars.
See?
I've had women reach down to straight grab a hold.
You don't get it.
I've had women, grabbing me around the side of my head. No.
Well, then I guess that's just as wrong, but that still doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it.
Right.
But that's my point. But the thing
What's your point?
I applied all of the context of the situation into the equation, and I said, okay,
it's not math,
why did they do this? Did they do this because they're a pervert? Or did they do this because they fucking made a mistake, or they were trying to prove a point, right? Like, and if they were trying to prove a point or they made a mistake, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to go freak out and try to ruin somebody's life.
That's your problem.
Dude,
right?
I know you're not evil, okay, but you gotta stop, making excuses. You were absolutely just 100% in the wrong to do that. The sooner you accept that, the less horrible you'll feel about it, because you really did not, and you won't feel like you need to be punished for it if you know it was wrong.
Right.
But if you're just explaining it away, I can't say what the universe is going to do. We all have to pay our dues for what we've done. But if you continuously deny that, you just should not have done that, and that you should never do that, and no man has a right to ever do that, if you just accept that, I swear to God, it will go a lot easier.
Yes.
To just get through it.
Yep.
And you won't feel haunted by it. You won't feel like these ghosts are, making fun of you or whatever you think is going on in your head. It was wrong. Accept that you were wrong to do it, and then just move along. You don't have to make excuses for it. That just drags out the punishment.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it to you. That's why they're punishing you.
Yeah, look, I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Am I getting here?
I'm not making excuses for it.
You are.
I've already moved on and moved past it a long time ago. It's one of those situations that, you
overlooked it. You didn't take accountability.
Of alcohol involved, a lot of factors and dynamics.
Excuses.
Those are excuses.
It was not gross sexual. Yes, they are excuses, but they're valid excuses.
No, they're not. There's no such thing as a valid excuse.
I've been drunk and high out of my mind. I've never sexually assaulted anyone.
There's no such thing as a valid excuse.
That was not a sexual assault.
Yes, it was.
Grabbing someone's private parts is the legal definition of a sexual assault.
Did I have their permission? Technically, I did.
No, you didn't.
How? Did she say,
because
I fucking
told
dare
them what
you?
I was going to do.
Did she say,
no.
I fucking dare you?
No. They didn't tell me to not do it.
Okay.
That doesn't, oh my God.
If you made that argument to a judge, you'd be spending some time in jail.
Oh
and
my
I think
God,
you know that.
You sound more and more narcissistic with every fucking word.
It's possible. But again, this is where my arrogance comes into play, right? I realized it was objectively wrong. I'm trying to argue it away. I'm trying to just, deflect guilt and shame and blame.
So listen, from somebody who has been there, listen to me. Don't deflect. Don't argue it away. Eat the humble pie.
Yes.
Just eat it. Just eat it all the way up until it's all gone, because
eat some crow.
You're going to have to eat the humble pie one way or another.
Yep.
That's how the universe works.
Yep.
If you're wrong, you got to eat the humble pie.
Period.
I understand that, but why don't they ever get to eat the humble pie?
Well,
See,
she didn't sexually assault you.
You don't get it, dude.
But see, this is where I have pent up
And by
aggression.
the way, you don't know what's going on in her life. She could be eating humble pie on the daily. You don't even know her. So
She's probably eating some other type of pie, but that's neither here nor there.
that's her business.
It is her business. You're absolutely right. Look, my point is these were disgusting, despicable, just downright just evil females, man. And
so that makes it okay.
So how are you
It's
any
another-
better than
another
if they're
excuse.
the worst?
It's another
She
excuse.
didn't deserve that I touched the top of her breast with an open hand and didn't even clasp it to prove a point.
You're
Yeah,
making
She didn't
excuses.
deserve that.
That's still sexual
You're making
assault. Now you're
We've come to a
downplaying it.
conclusion.
You're literally making excuses as you say it. Dude, you're so fucking disgusting.
Come to a conclusion on that here, okay? But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact. Yes, we have come to that conclusion.
When you say we, do you mean yourself
yeah.
or me and you?
I'm saying me, you, and the audience listening, or the
No.
audience that is going to listen in the
Nope.
future.
You're the only
you're
one.
probably
all
right.
at this point, we should have come to a conclusion
Yeah.
that
yeah.
it was a mistake, it was wrong to do, and under no circumstances should I have done it, even in my delusional world where I believed it was some type of justified situation,
Your hands belong to yourself unless somebody explicitly invites you to put them on them. That's just...
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's move beyond that. I think we've both made our point on that. So I asked, and I don't know that you answered, but you don't have to answer, but how old are you? Because I know that like a lot of times these kinds of disorders kick in at a particular age. And I'm 36, like disclosing. So for me, it really started in my early 30s. I mean, I had like stuff going on in the 20s, but like it really kicked into high gear in my early 30s. So I'm just curious, like how old you are and if this, when this started, if that coincides with a particular age. Like when did you start having all of these kinds of thoughts?
Like what kinds of thoughts are you referring to?
The paranoid thoughts, or thinking that people are like all know something about you,
or out
just
to get
like
me,
exactly, it's the out to get you stuff. Like that's a very common
so kind of like
paranoia.
thinking like those girls were out to get me and that was justified to do what I did.
Right,
yeah.
like maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just some bitchy ass girls who were just being cunts, and maybe like even if they were, they still don't deserve to have you prove a point to them like that.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And some girls are bitches. Some guys are fucking bitches. Like, that's just how people are. There are huge douchebags on every continent on this planet.
I know, man. It's a plague. Anyways, so as far as like the delusions,
So you won't get to where you need to be until you can openly admit what you did without feeling guilt to anybody at any given time. Until you can just come up to a total stranger, say, "Did you do this?" And you'd be like, yeah, I'm a pig. I should have never done it. And end it right there. Like, if you ever try to not talk about it, or you ever try to explain it away or make excuses, then you still have not taken accountability, period. So right now I can tell you're just tabling the issue because you realize that you dug yourself in a hole. But I'm telling you right now, Abe, just from this video, from this interaction right here that I'm watching, you're not even close to taking accountability yet. So I don't think that you will understand and be genuine about, admitting what you did and taking accountability until you can openly admit and talk about what you did without feeling guilt to anybody at any time. So we'll see if you can do that. If you can do that, then I guarantee you, your problems will stop. You'll feel a lot better about yourself. It'll be like a huge weight lifted off your shoulders. People will respect you again. Maybe, probably. Maybe some won't, but most will.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, they came from traumatic experiences that I dealt with in the military.
Yeah,
right?
I was wondering if it was PTSD stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty much PTSD. And then when I got out of the military, I had this hyperinflated ego because I had to adapt.
Well, it's like a defense mechanism, because if you feel terrible about something that you did there, then you're going to have to want to feel great about something to counteract it.
I don't think you're ever going to do this again either.
That's pretty much what it was like, you know, and it just, I don't know. I mean, you know, I've recently had discussions with the VA and trying to sort all that stuff out and work through it. And, you know, we're still in the process of trying to figure all that out. But ultimately, it's just a lot of blame I put on their end for the way that they operate and how they chose to operate with me, and they had the opportunity to, you know, let me live my life and just, you know, maybe make my experience in the Marine Corps better, and they chose to keep me, you know, in a situation that was just miserable for me. So,
well, you don't have to tell if you don't want to, but like, would you, or rather, what happened that you felt like you took the fall for? And you might not even be allowed to talk about it, so but if you can share, what is it that you think that you took the fall for that caused them to like put you in whatever program it is you think you're in?
There was a situation that I believe they swept under the rug. Like there was a sexual assault that took place involving me with another person in Guam, that I was the victim. And I went to my staff NCOIC. I told my staff NCOIC with pouring tears down my face at 3 o'clock in the morning, what happened in the situation in Guam. And, you know, he basically told me, he consoled me and told me, oh, everything was going to be okay. And then in the morning, he gets up when we wake up to go to formation at 7 a.m. and he told everybody about it, and everybody laughed at me, mocked me, made fun of me. That is the Marine Corps in a nutshell. That's literally how they are. That's how they operate. It's like nothing is serious. Everything is a joke for somebody else.
But you got in trouble?
If they can scapegoat you and make you the butt of their jokes,
something's fishy.
Do it every opportunity they can.
I'm not buying it.
And that's what they did, and I never fucking forgave them.
I'm not buying it.
You know, nobody ever gave, you know, that's my whole point. You know, and it segues back to probably what happened with those females, right? Is I probably have some pent-up anger and aggression about that situation.
I think you did something like that in Guam.
Like nobody ever told me, like nobody ever consoled me. Nobody ever told me it was going to be okay. Nobody ever asked me if I needed help.
Dude.
All they did was mocked, ridiculed.
You're a guy.
And you were expected that you were going to adapt and overcome it.
You're a fucking Marine,
you were
dude.
Somehow, you know, persevere and still continue to be a fucking, you know, badass Marine.
Well, you were supposed to be a badass Marine, dude.
It was all going to be okay. And you were just supposed to forgive and fucking forget that shit happens.
Yeah.
You know? And that's my whole point, is like...
all right, wait.
And then they basically...
I'm just trying to imagine what... I don't believe you, first of all. Because you said that you got in trouble. Because you were the lead Marine. And so it's just you just happened to be there, and it was some other person that got in trouble, right? That had nothing to do with you. And that's the only reason you got in trouble, is because you just happened to be there. That's what I remember you saying. But now you're saying that you were a victim of a sexual assault, and the next day they were all told everybody about it, and they're all making fun of you. Something tells me you did the same thing to somebody in Guam, and you're trying to cover it up, and you're trying to deny what happened, because you've never admitted it, and you think you got away with it, and you think you've already been persecuted for it. because whatever they punished you in the Marines for it. So you think that you can get away with not having to admit it, not having to say what you did in the Marines. I'm here to tell you, Abe, you're gonna have to admit that one too. Whatever it is, you're gonna have to. The universe is not gonna let you fucking get away with this. So if you can't tell the full story of what, was it a big black guy who stuck his dick in your ass? If not, then tuck in your vagina and shut the fuck up. If it was a girl that violated you, dude, you're a bitch. You're supposed to be a Marine. Suck it up, dude. I mean, come on. Unless it was a big black guy that fucking butt raped you.
We tried to spin it around and
they spun it around.
See? That it ever happened.
See?
I mean, it was just wrong, dude. It was just completely fucking wrong. They knew it. I knew it. There was no resolution on that. It's why I got out. It's why I said F off to them. I stopped really caring after that. And
change your story. See, I called it.
And it changed me, man. It changed me because I basically determined that I had to be tougher, more physically stronger. I had to be more assertive. I had to put myself in a position where people were no longer going to take advantage of me. People were no longer going to bully me. They were going to no longer mock me. And whatever it was going to take.
Well, how's that working out for you?
Is what I had to do so that I could never be that person that people did that to me.
How's that working out for you, Abe?
That's really... That's what left such a sour taste in my mouth with the military. And, like I said, we're currently in the process of resolution on that.
It wasn't big black Bubba's fucking dick that left a sour taste in your mouth?
That, I think, but...
I'm really sorry that happened to you. I mean, you obviously didn't deserve that, and if it was covered up, that's, you're not the first person that the military's covered stuff up like that for, so I totally believe that is something that could have happened. And I'm really sorry that did happen.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I feel like at this point, you're taking out your rage about that on the wrong people. Like, there's really nothing you can do about the people who did it to you. And so now you're just mad at everybody. And I'm a person with a perpetual rage problem myself. So I totally understand. You just get mad at everything. And when you were saying how it seemed like everything was going wrong when you would do certain things, like, I remember my dad, like, every time something would go...
See, I don't get mad at anything. I'm the most fucking easygoing, patient person that I know. It takes a lot to get me mad. But I'm fucking mad. I'm mad right now. I'm sure this is not something that, I don't know. You don't hear this tone of voice with me too often. You don't hear me this fired up or this pissed off or this passionate about something. But no, I'm pissed. And Abe, I'm sorry, but I'm calling bullshit on your story. Because you would have said what happened. You would have said more details about what happened if you weren't trying to cover something up, if you weren't trying to hide what you did. Because think about it. If you were violated in some way, shape, or form in the military, right, like that by a chick, right, you wouldn't have done it to that chick in the bar. You wouldn't have. You would not have done that to the chick in the bar because you would have already been in her shoes. You would understand what it feels like to be violated, right? So I don't believe that you were ever violated. I think you were the person that's always been the violator. And I think when you drink, it comes out. My brother's the same way. Both of them, actually, as a matter of fact. Both of them are fucking weirdo creeps. And there's stories to account for both of them. I, on the other hand, have never done this. But they try to say that I'm a creep or something, a pervert, but there's no story behind it. They just make it up. But, dude, that's why I thought that it was bullshit, the story or whatever that they said. Because you just kind of alluded it to somebody, making something up about you before. And I bought it, hook, line, and sinker, because that's what they did to me. But I was wrong. There's a reason that you're being gang stalked. In my case, somebody lied, probably to cover up their crimes. Like, I'm a whistleblower. I was telling the truth about a corrupt fucking piece of shit chief of police around here. So I think that they lied about me because they use this on creeps and pedophiles. They use the gang stalking on creeps and pedophiles, I believe. It's kind of obvious to me that they do that. And so that's what it seems like. They took advantage of the opportunity and lied about me, took advantage of the fact that I was isolated a little bit, and they could do that and almost get away with it. When, they didn't think that they would ever get exposed or that the truth would ever come out. They thought that they would be successful in convincing a bunch of people with this. They didn't count on me making a YouTube channel and just speaking the truth or doing what I'm doing now. But that's my story. In your case, Abe, your problems will go away as soon as you admit what you did, both in the military and at that bar.
Wrong would start screaming like they're fucking with me, they're out to get me, everybody just wants to fucking destroy my life. And I have a lot of those exact same impulses. I think the big difference between you and I is that, like, when I've had those kinds of impulses and delusions, and I have those for similar reasons to you without going into it, but I think a lot of it comes from the same place. But when I go into those,
we all do.
I am just, the last thing I want to do is be on the internet when I'm in a rage in a moment like that. Like, I don't want people to see me like that. I don't want people, because I know that at some point I can't snap my fingers, but I will eventually snap back to reality. And I would know if I had shown myself in that state on the internet, then it will have revealed something about me that A, I don't want revealed, and that B, I could have easily not revealed by staying off the internet. So I wonder, like, what it is that, like, one thing you do have in common with a lot of TIs is that you record your very angry moments and upload them. And I just wonder, like, do you do that just to show people how upset you are, or is it like to get a certain outcome? Because that is one thing I can't relate to, is wanting to, like,
I think it's an attempt to try to fool themselves, to try to fool everybody else and fool themselves, to paint it like they're the victim. If they cry enough on the internet, right, then they'll cry loud enough to drown out, the truth. And they'll create the image that they're a victim in their own heads and in the viewers' heads, right? So that's why they come on the internet to do it, I believe. You won't find me coming on here and bitching like angry. I don't have angry rants on the internet. I speak my truth, speak my mind, and I don't. Emotion rarely plays a role in my deep, deep rants that I have. It's usually emotion is not involved. I don't really get mad. I don't. I don't know. Like I said, I think I'm the most patient person that I know, to be honest. I'm sure there's other people just as patient or more patient than me, but in my little isolated world, I'm the most patient person I know. It takes quite a lot to get me upset. I can literally be physically attacked over and over and over again and threatened and forced to defend myself successfully, I might add, without ever throwing a punch and without ever getting mad. And still, the situation, I was able to walk away from the situation without throwing a punch, without having to fight, without using violence, without getting mad. And the other person was just so worn out by the end of it, me putting him on the ground over and over again, that he was in a better mood than when he started. But when you can go through situations like that, or a cop breaking into your apartment unannounced, like a crazy person, and arrest you at gunpoint, they came there to kill me, but my son was recording it. When you can go through those situations like that, and the same cop did it again, in a traffic stop, and he even crazier the second time. But my point is, when you can go through those situations like that, I don't really think that there's anything that can get me worked up. Like anything. I kind of do the opposite. In high stress situations like that, I slow down, and everything slows down for me. And I can just think, I can see everything clearly, I can think clearly. It's like the movie Wanted, where his dad was an assassin and he's got the gift and he's an assassin. And in high stress situations like that, he's able to slow things down. It's kind of like that. But I don't get the anxiety like he was on pills or whatever. But I don't get that. I just literally, I'm able to slow things down, you know? And emotion, I don't know why. It's a blessing. My curse is that I'm always fucking right, because it pisses people off. I don't want to be right about this, Abe. I don't want to be right. But I have this feeling right now that what I'm saying is right. And it's probably going to piss you off, but that doesn't change the truth.
People see how furious I am. I mean, whenever I do it, it's in a contained zone, like on the show or something.
Yeah, so basically, in that situation, I do those things to prove a point. I'm basically trying to prove a point to people that what I'm telling them is happening, and it's just like when you know, when you're backed in a corner and nobody's believing what you want to say and nobody's believing,
it's because you're lying.
You know, any of the things you're trying to tell them. I mean, your natural defense mechanism is to try to scream it at the fucking top of your lungs.
No.
And scream for fucking help. I mean, that's basically what it's been.
But what do you hope to accomplish?
Any scenario where I've ever went out there and I've ever raised my voice, it was only with the intent of getting people to just wake up and accept the fact.
How's that working out for you, Abe? I don't understand what you hope to accomplish. The people that are doing this to you are doing it. I told you why they're doing it. So you going on these hissy fit rants where you yell and get like rage does nothing to them at all. Nothing at all. I promise you, it does nothing at all. They actually roll their eyes, I'm sure, and they just look at you like even more of a narcissist because you still refuse to admit what you did and take accountability. And when you come on these ragers, I don't understand what point you're trying to get across to who and what you're hoping to accomplish, because the only thing you're accomplishing is making yourself look like an ass.
That what I'm telling them is happening is more than likely true.
So?
And not some delusion of my mind.
So?
And their inability to accept it for what it is making my life more and more miserable.
Just because they...
Yeah, but do you think that, like, when you scream about stuff that, like, we have no context for, like, when you're going on about how, like, you had to wait longer at the Great Clips, like, okay, I understand that's upsetting to you. It's upsetting to me. And, you know, I have the delusion to think everybody's messing with me and making fun of me, too. But at the same time, everybody's had to wait at Great Clips. Shit happens. Like,
boom, shit
why
happens.
does it have to be some coordinated strike to gaslight you? It can't just be some random Do you think that the woman at the Great Clips would rather deal with you getting upset at her over a delusion? Or I mean, I just don't understand, like, why you think other people want to put up with this for you.
Yeah. Narcissists?
So typically they wouldn't have to put up with it for me.
You don't have to
under normal circumstances or under the typical circumstances. I would have just went. That situation would have happened. I would have been completely cool with it. I would have taken it. I would have just not said anything. I would have not documented the situation. I would have moved on with my life and taken the L. But in that situation, based on the facts that I had presented to me, I felt strongly that those facts, you know, portrayed a situation where I was clearly being intentionally wrong.
But what if other people see it a different way? Everyone else doesn't see it that way. You're the only one.
Okay, but again, facts don't care about their feelings, man. They have to accept that the facts are the facts.
The facts are that everybody has had to wait longer at a hair salon than they wanted to.
There was more, again, there's more facts than just waiting longer at the hair salon.
But you don't have facts.
There's the situation, as I talked about.
Your definition of facts.
What if you, just think, what if you had actually got an innocent person fired for your delusional thoughts? Do you not care about collateral damage and that you might be wrong about some people being involved?
No, I absolutely care about collateral damage, and that's actually why I try to be very careful about how I do react to situations, because I learned very quickly, you know, early on in the situation that there are a lot of innocent bystanders. So in that situation, again, I had vetted that store, that location, over a period of 6 months. I was taking into account multiple occurrences there. Like I said, it was a boiling effect.
Maybe it's a shitty Great Clips. I mean, there's certain McDonald's I go to that are all shitty.
I made my point. Be good or be good at it.